Hello, everyone. It's Steph from the Stellium Astrology podcast, founder of stelliumastrology.com, managing editor of the Mountain Astrologer magazine, Reiki master for the NHS in the UK, the National Health Service. There's my brief CV of what I can do. But those of you who've been long-time listeners know this already about me. Those of you who've not been listening for very long maybe don't. I haven't been recording very frequently for quite a while now. I've been a bit I'm the first to call myself a bit rubbish. Oh, by the way, this is Lana. Lana, come on, say hi to everyone. If you're watching, you'll see Lana there. She's my first baby. She really believes she's my baby, or she thinks she's my mum. One of the two. My little black cat, my house panther. Oh dear, have I given you the come on? Anyway, so I just thought I'd record today because I was talking to one of my students, one of my supervision coaching students, and we were just talking about how you can use you can call it spellcraft, witchcraft, whatever, but you can also call it intention and manifestation techniques. Yeah, basically I told her that you have to be very careful, very intentional about what you wish for. And I said, I learned this lesson the hard way. And she was curious to hear more about it. Now, I may have told people already about this. I don't think I have. In February last year, we moved house. And we moved from a 2-bedroom flat to an actual house. So it was we had a lot of furniture to move. It was very cluttered. It was extremely stifling living environment. We'd totally outgrown our space. And so initially I elected an auspicious date in order to contact the estate agent to get the ball rolling with the move. Initially, we just viewed properties, but we reached out about our intentions to move house. It wasn't like we made the conscious decision that we were definitely going to move, but we saw a property we wanted to look at. So I was like, let's do it. And so we reached out on possibly the most auspicious day of the year. And then after we viewed plenty and we found a place we really liked, we were a bit slow with getting our property listed and on the market, but we did eventually. Now, what I did was I was talking to somebody about it, and they said, have you done the house moving spell? Because if you do the house moving spell, you'll move really quickly. And I really desperately wanted to get out of my living situation. We were so ready to go. So I got the spell, got the book that the spell was in, and I did everything as to the best of my ability. So it is mostly about intention rather than anything else, but the ritual helps. And the more seriously you take the ritual, the more it is viewed favorably by the forces that make these things happen. Excuse me, can you get your nose out of my drink, please, cat? It's my cacao, my morning cacao in my cup. Look. Yes, I really do need all these plants. Because if you go through my house, I live in a mini jungle. Anyway, so I did the spell. And guess what? This is how you call it FAFO, F around and find out. Now, this is how I found out about being very intentional and being serious and being ready when you're asking for spiritual assistance. So essentially I did the spell, all went as well as it could. I actually interestingly got very emotional in the middle of it as well, which was something that surprised me, and I realized it was a part of the letting go process of it as well, which I thought it really did take me by surprise, because I thought I was just ready to go, and I was ready to get out of there, but there's so many memories in that place. Anyway, and we moved all our stuff into storage. The first, like literally within a day, we had somebody contacting us to come and view the place. The first person that came to view it made us an offer immediately. And we were like, wow, okay. It was a place where lots of people wanted to, it was a good location. So we were expecting to have a good response, but not as good as we had. Anyway, so the first person that came along and made the offer, I was like, wow, this is because of the spell. Like, we got what we wanted. They offered us, I think they offered us a slightly lower price, and we knew we needed higher for the place we wanted to move to. However, I didn't specify that in my spell. And, it wasn't that much lower that we wouldn't have been able to work with it. So we went back and said, actually, we'd like more, please. And because we pushed back and we went for more, we delayed the process. They came and looked around again, and then they offered us a higher price by just a couple of thousand. It wasn't like 10,000 more or something like that. It was just a couple thousand more. So obviously that was a little bit like, oh, okay, fine. They've lowballed us, and that's how they're doing it. And essentially, because we pushed back, we didn't get the lawyer that was recommended to us, the what do they call them now, conveyancing solicitor. And that was very annoying because they would have worked very quickly and they came highly recommended. They went on holiday that week. So if we'd have just been a week earlier, they would have taken on our case, and they didn't. So we went with somebody else, and we got the slowest conveyancing solicitor known to man. And it dragged on and on and on and on and on. And it went on so long, we had to get our mortgage in principle agreed again. And it got to the final week where it was going to expire. And I know a lot of people have an experience like this. But this was like, I mean, it was so poorly handled that actually every single person in our chain was complaining. And it ended up being that we got compensation for how badly this was handled. So I know it wasn't a typical move, because about 3 days before our moving date, the people who were buying from us wanted to come and view the property again before completing, because they wanted to be sure that they definitely wanted to go ahead. And this was after 6 months. And at this point, everything was in boxes, everything had gone ahead, everything was signed. And they hadn't signed a contract. So if anything fell through, we would be losing money. It was extremely stressful. I really had an out of body experience from the stress. Like, I literally got to the point where I was floating above my body. It's the only way I can describe it. And basically, it went ahead in the end. It all went ahead in the end. The moving day happened. The money took ages to transfer through. So it happened, but it happened incredibly slowly. And I feel like I realized after the whole process that the reason why this happened was because I asked for something, I got what I asked for, and I turned it away initially. So I just know now that I will never abuse that kind of thing again, because I'm not somebody that just does a spell on, for anything. I'll do a spell when I really, really want something and I really want to help the process move along. And I know about the repercussions of not practicing properly or with the wrong intentions. I didn't realize that you had to be very clear on your intentions. And I don't know, I guess I looked at it as a kind of hubris that I had, aggravated the gods in some way. I don't know what it was, but I learned my lesson. And so it taught me to be clear, be intentional, and to just not abuse that kind of stuff, because it's truly powerful actually when it works. I think this is why they always say with spells, with anything, you have to be really clear on what it is you want, because you'll get what you get what you ask for. You will get what you ask for, but there will always be some kind of, there's always going to be a problem with any solution, and that's just the nature of life. You cannot create solutions that are not problematic at all. There will always be some kind of repercussion that creates a future issue. It's the nature of the waxing and the waning moon. This is why we have the new moon, the seeding, the first quarter, which is the initial challenges that arise, which help you to work towards that full presentation of the wish or of the process. And then the final quarter is the closing crisis, the closing challenges, which are ready to birth the new seed that needs to be sown. It's just the nature of growth. It's the nature of evolution. But I guess in spellcraft, it's its own natural process that comes with its own flaws. So you have to be clear on what you don't want to be flawed. So that is actually for everybody to enjoy, but mostly for Cassandra, my student. And I just wanted to let anybody know who's listening that we do have some spaces for more one-to-one coaching sessions. And the coaching sessions, how they work is that if you sign up through the Patreon page, you can have a session a month with me, or you can just pay for individual sessions with me as a coaching student. But I will only take on a couple of students at a time because obviously my time, I have to juggle a lot. So if you're interested, reach out to me and I can send you more information. But we have shorter sessions of about half an hour, and we have slightly longer sessions, which are sort of 45 minutes to an hour, depending. And I have a lower rate for students because we are working together long term. If you're seeing clients, I can help you work with the charts prior to readings. If you've got questions about any aspect of your learning journey with astrology, I'll coach you through one-to-one with it. So yes, let me know if you're interested in coming along for coaching sessions. I'm still doing readings, by the way. I just need to update my my booking calendar and also my my website just to reflect my availability. But I'll put links below if anybody's interested. And yeah, just let me know if you've ever used magic, if you've ever done a spell before and you got what you asked for, but it didn't arrive in the way that you were expecting. All right, thanks very much, guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.